Let's get this party started. Which guests are the ones that don't need to pretend they've got other cooler things to do? Welcome Gottfried Leibniz, Willem Segravsand, and Gabrielle Emilie Le Tonnelier de Bretuel Marquis de Châtelet. May I call you de Châtelet because I'm not doing that again? Good, well come in, have some nibbles. So what have you brought to the party? Kinetic energy you say? Oh well, I guess we have to start somewhere, so why not with one that sounds like it's named after a child's toy? So, Kinetic is an estate agent in Grantham, honestly, and the go-to word for all brand designers if you choose to spell it wrong. But not only that, it's the kind of energy that moving objects have. Give something a big push and it moves along. The energy you put into shoving it is now in the object as it moves along. And we can work this out because Leibniz figured that energy can be calculated by multiplying half the mass times the velocity squared. Okay, but how do we know it's true? Well, along came Sir Grav Sand, whose thing was making experiments, and he came up with an experiment where he dropped metal balls from different heights into clay, and the size of the hole grew with the square of velocity. For you, Leibniz, you nailed it. However, it was only de Châtelet who realised what it all meant. She published it and got people to realise that energy was a thing. Now, how is kinetic energy different from momentum, which is the mass times the velocity? Well, the energy is what you've put in to make it move, and the momentum describes how and what is moving, and even includes its direction. Afterwards, this energy thing became very important in physics, and later even got its own unit, the joule, though James Joule is not here yet. So the energy of something moving is half times the mass times the velocity squared, and is measured in something called joules. A bit catchier than this, I think you'll agree. So, Leibniz, you're the chap who was involved in just about every part of philosophy, maths and science in the 17th century. While doing energy, he invented calculus. Nice. And not content with writing his papers in 6 different languages, he even invented binary, the language computers speak to one another. So, he invented computers. Must be some pretty big credit coming your way, Leibniz, when you died. Nope, the Royal Society decided not to honour his death because the king didn't like him. A servant was the only person at his funeral and he had an unmarked grave. Ouch. Okay, well, de Châtelet, you were a French philosopher and mathematician, partner of Voltaire, yes, that Voltaire, and the first woman to publish a scientific paper in France. But she died in childbirth at age 42 after having an affair with a poet. Now that has got to be the most French philosopher thing I've ever heard. So Grav Sand, how about you? The practical one of the three had a more boring life, though his PhD thesis was on how suicide is morally wrong. Yeah, you're not coming to my next party.